It's not a race. It's an adventure. It's this epic thing that you get to do. You get to run an unbelievable distance in a place that's almost untouched. And we've been able to, in 7 days, travel the entire country and stay at some of the most beautiful lodges. We've had an exquisite rainy season. There's very few people who've seen the country ever in their lifetime the way it is right now. It's mind-blowing. I've been running for about 8 years, ultra. I like to push hard and run far and do things that the average person doesn't do. For many years, I've wanted to do the 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. And when COVID happened, it became very clear that that was never going to happen for us. Travel, international races, it was all just taken away from us. So suddenly you have these people who are living for running, who are living for traveling, and now there's nothing. Caletso phones me the one day and says, you know, he thinks maybe we should actually make this work. Him and I have been talking for about 4 years about it and how much we'd love to do this. He says, let's do it in Namibia. Now I need to find people to come along with me because this is not a simple thing to do. You need somebody who's willing to run almost 300 kilometers in 7 days. How do you train for that? And I put on Facebook, and the next thing you know, people are contacting, can they come along? And
I'm Marisa Drey. Like I said, I'm from Windhoek and I've always loved running. I initially saw Kirsty's Facebook post and I immediately phoned her and said, please put me on your list because this is exactly the kind of event which I love.
Well, I've been running for basically as long as I've been alive. I've run basically every continent, I think, except the Americas. This was fun. This is the most fun I've had in all the races that I've ever done.
My name is Joey Shihama, an ultra-marathon runner. I got an email actually from Kirsty. I said, yes, Kirsty, it's a challenge, so I'm up for it.
Ordinarily, when you do a marathon, you're done and you go home, you rest, and it's lacquer. Now we have to go home, get our things ready, and tomorrow morning you got to get up and do it again. Mentally, it's been unbelievably difficult. The terrain obviously changes. So for example, when we were at the Cannon Lodge, you couldn't run very far because the sand was so thick. So then you start negotiating with yourself. So mentally, you have to push yourself because honestly, your body can do it. You know, if you train like we train, your body can do it. The physical part hasn't been the hardest, but man, your head. I've been blown away just by the support. The staff were suddenly running with us.
It was the most beautiful scenery. It was just magic, you know, running through those deals. You were mostly alone.
I loved Kleinhaus Vista. It's so unlike what I'm used to from Swakopmund. Over mountains and it's fast and it's, you know, very challenging and it's exciting.
My favorite part was getting lost on Pitt's Mountain. That will go down in history.
The Kleinhaus Vista was the most difficult one. I took the wrong route, but also made it to the 49-kilometer mark.
But I like the way how the team came together and we all found each other with no network, but everything worked out well. I think that's the worst case scenario and we shone through it.
most difficult part is to get up every day and restart the challenge. It's not like you can do it every day in the same headspace. Some days are obviously hard and some days are easier. I think it comes quite naturally if you have a passion for running.
Wherever I was explaining things to people on Facebook and on social media and things, I said, geez, today was tough, eh? But oh, my stack is beautiful. You know, how lucky are we?
My favorite terrain to run is the Namib Desert.
I've been very surprised at how well my body is handled. You know, you kind of run, your body knows what it's doing. It just keeps going because we're not racing, we're not pushing to our maximum at any stage. I mean, we've been incredible terrain, but we've not been pushing that hard. The support obviously is very special. These messages coming from people talking about what an inspiration it is. And that was never what we were intending to do. We were a couple of runners who wanted to go and do something friggin' awesome. And suddenly people are coming and saying, I've never run, but I'm seeing what you guys are doing, now I want to run. You know, that's what it is.
My favorite part of this experience was the people that kept us going, that kept us supporting us on the road. And my favorite part of the marathon was also in the Swakopmund, where everybody came out to support us, and all the Swakopmund people came out. So
it was a surprise!
Damaraland, we struggled because there'd been a lot of rain and the grass, and the terrain was completely different to when I actually came ahead of the time and did the runs there and worked out the loops. Everything was suddenly different from the rain. So there's grass, you can't see the trails anymore. To do loops is always going to be difficult, especially on day 6 of 7 marathons. So mentally, Damaraland, it was very tough for me.
The most difficult part was waking up at 5 a.m. and thinking, okay, I'm going to run another 42. But the minute we started, you know, the scenery just like makes you forget what you did yesterday.
Today was tough because we were on the tar road, but that was unfortunately something we had to do. It was a safety issue, and that's something that it's a non-negotiable. You know, if at all times our #1 priority has been to keep our runners safe. So when it came down to the grass is too high, there's loads of snakes, we could not allow for a dangerous environment for one of our runners. Okay, so it was a decision. But when you've been running 6 marathons on beautiful soft terrain, which is what it is when you off-road, and then you hit tar. Man, our knees today, our bodies were... So I think yesterday and today were probably the harder of the lot.
the last part was the most difficult part. I almost gave up at 31 kilometers. And then I thought of not giving up because I know where I started this.
No, it was even better than I expected or would I have imagined. And yes, we finished today and it was an absolute highlight of my year this far, actually for the past 2 years.
So it's just been, man, it's just next level. Everything that we've been through over this last 7 days, it's just insane.
It was a wonderful experience and I would love everybody to join and to come take part of it.
The stories about Gondwana 7, the marathon series, are insane. Risa would run a sub 4 every day. And there's Joey, who managed to do 6 out of 7 marathons with a busted knee. And Kirsty is the wild one. She led the group out into a rocky desert with no water, 20 kilometers off course. You know what? Maybe you should call these guys the Fab Four. They have different strengths, but together they make great music. We're rock stars, man. And we got the stones to prove it.
You know, the distance means nothing, but where we've been and what we've seen and the laughs that we've had and the friendship and stuff, that's what the last 7 days has been.